Tonight on Reynolds Field, it's Campbell hosting the Kings Academy. The Lions and the Cougars here, kicking off at 7:30 tonight. We're on the Bullock Law Firm countdown to kickoff. Jim Freeman along with head coach Mark Pemberton. Coach, a couple of disappointing Fridays. We're looking for maybe some excitement, some fire, some physical activity tonight.
Well, we hope so. We've struggled those first two games. Give the credit to the teams that we played. They played really well, and we didn't. We weren't quite physical enough, and we've got to become a more physical football team, physically and mentally, to overcome some adversity when it happens sometimes. But we've shown a few little signs that we're coming out of it. We just didn't get it done last week, but we improved, I thought, in some areas. But we got to get over the hump and start playing some good football.
Coach, I've been to a lot of practices, been around you quite a bit here in the preseason and through the early part of the season. I thought maybe in the second quarter there were some signs with the offense that we've seen in practice that it was starting to click, and there was some enthusiasm there.
Yeah, we started to move the ball a little bit there in the second quarter and got it down. I guess ended up maybe with a field goal before half, but not enough of that in the second half. It didn't materialize. Even in that second quarter, we still weren't blocking it quite as physically as we needed to. So you know, it's still a process going on. I'm like you. We were talking earlier about we thought it would get a little better, a little quicker than it has, but the kids are still working. I still got confidence in them, so we're going to keep pushing them, and hopefully we'll continue to get better as the year goes on.
Your special teams, Rylan Sanders with an impressive field goal, then Sam Sexton with a couple of blocks and extra points. So your special teams shine some on Friday night.
Yeah, we've done a great job on the extra point block, you know, and then Rylan hitting that field goal. We've got pretty good confidence in Rylan. We think he can hit it from you hit one from 51 in practice, so we feel like we got a chance to put some points on the board if we can get close.
Coach, with regard to getting fired up, having a passion, really picking it up on both sides of the ball, what's it going to take to get this team really passionate about playing?
Well, I think they're passionate about it. They just quite don't understand exactly what it takes yet to get to that level. You know, it's not because we hadn't been on them. We've been on them a bunch, but you know, some of them have come around. We got 4, 5, 6 kids that are playing at a high level. I think we got to get the rest of them to come on and get it done. And some of those guys that are playing well have played before. Some of them that are not are new starters that have never, you know, played much in the varsity games and stuff. So those guys have got to do some catching up with the guys that we think are playing pretty well. Who
would you point out as maybe a leader or your leaders on this team?
Well, obviously, you know, Gavin Owens is, and Keegan Cowan, I thought, had a good game last night. Kirby has graded out offensively for us one of the two games. Luke Lindsay, I think, is leading us in tackles. Luke's making a lot of tackles from the secondary, which is maybe not a good thing, but he is making plays for us. So those guys are probably the guys that we're looking at as leaders, and some of those were within that 4, 5, 6 guys that we think are playing decent football right now. So the other guys have got to catch up.
Both teams coming in tonight 0-2, I guess looking at each other maybe the same way. This is a team that's given up a lot of points, the Kings Academy. What can you expect from this team tonight so far that you've seen on film offensively? Well,
they're a spread. They're going to spread and throw it around, and they try to run it a lot, but same type of offense and defense that we've seen every week. So it's not going to change a whole lot. They do have some athletes. You know, interior-wise, I think we match up really well with them, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. What's it going to take to maybe spring free a Gavin Owens or a Keegan Cowan on some long runs?
Well, we got to blow some holes open. I mean, we got to do a better job of staying on blocks. And, you know, sometimes we get initial blocks and let them off of us, and they make plays on us. We just got to do a better job of locking on blocks and knowing who to block, and which I take that as my responsibility, but we've just got to create running lanes for them. We just hadn't been able to do that. And then when we have an opportunity to throw it, be able to take advantage. And if we can get the run game going, that helps our passing game tremendously, because a lot of times you'll see man coverage once the run game gets going. So we hadn't really been able to get our run game going yet, so it's hurt our passing.
So you can have a very impressive passing game if you can get your run game going and maybe pull off a few surprise passes.
Yeah, I've had 1,000-yard receivers in this offense that have had big years, and I'm talking about in a one-season deal. But if your run game's not going, then that causes you a problem. If I can stop you with a 7-man front and play a 2 deep in the secondary, a cover 2, then you're in trouble.
With regard to your team's health, 2 games in so far?
We got some guys that are banged up a little bit, just the typical kind of stuff this kind of year. Got a couple of concussions, I think, that guys will be out this week. Got some knick-knack injuries on some guys, but for the most part, we're pretty healthy.
Coach, we wish you well tonight. Have fun. We'll see you after the game.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Head coach Mark Pemberton. His Cougars taking on the Lions of Kings Academy coming up at 7:30 tonight here on the WLAF Tires Shop Sports Network.